Okay, so we're here with Cassie, and one of the things I noticed was that she was invading personal space. And the guardian mentioned to me that a family member had told her that she should never play with the dog if the dog comes and brings an object. Is that correct? Okay. So when a lot of dogs, when they're overexcited, they like to put things into their mouths to kind of occupy their mouth. Some humans, we smoke cigarettes, some people eat. We come up with our own habits of coping. So if a dog is bringing you something like that, or it's running around the house with something, it's trying to occupy itself, trying to kind of self-soothe. So we don't want to disagree with that. Now, if the dog comes up and nudges you with its nose or scratches at you or jumps or barks at you, it's kind of giving you a little bit of an order. Now, this could, I guess, fall in the same category if the dog brings you an object. Now, the dog can ask. So the dog comes up to me and sits down and drops the object at my feet. That's asking, hey, will you throw it so we can play fetch? Mm-hmm. That's different. If the dog is like launching it at me and throwing it in my lap and scratching me and won't leave me alone, it's the same thing as if it's nudging you for attention, it's giving you an order. Mm-hmm. So the dog tells you what to do and you do it and you do it enough, that gives the dog the impression, I have more authority than the humans because I tell them what to do, they do it. If I have more authority than humans, then I don't have to listen to them. Mm-hmm. Listening is optional. Mm-hmm. So what I do is every time the dog nudges you or scratches at you, or if it throws an object at you, tell it to sit. I'll play your game if you play by my rules and under my supervision. Okay. So for the object, what I would do is tell her to sit and drop. And then if I felt like it, then I would pick it up and throw it. Now, if you don't want to do it, then I would pick up the object and go put it away somewhere. But when your dog is trying to engage with you, now there's a time where it can be a nuisance, but a lot of times the dog's like, a lot of times it's because it has too much energy. Mm-hmm. And so I need to burn some energy. Hey, let's play together and help me burn this energy. Mm-hmm. So if we don't burn the energy, the dog's going to do it on its own. And a lot of times it manifests in ways that we don't like. Mm-hmm. So when the dog nudges you or scratches at you, what I usually do is give it a counter order. I tell it to sit or to lie down. Sitting and lying down are more subordinate positions. So putting a dog into a sit helps it kind of adopt more of a follower's mindset. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I want dogs. I want the dogs to identify as the humans like a child does to a parent. Mm-hmm. Still a member of the group, just not as much authority. Mm-hmm. So once the dog sits, then I usually pet them under their chin and I say the word sit. Many people talk too much to their dog. Mm. Oh, Casey, what a good dog. You sat down. I didn't even say the command word, sit. Dogs learn through association. So as soon as she sits down, I pet under the chin and I say the word sit. Not good sit, not Casey sit, sit. That's it. Because that's what the command word is. Mm-hmm. Now, I pet under the chin because when a dog is proud about what it's done, if this is the dog's nose and this is the head, when it's done something it's proud of, the nose is parallel to the ground or tilted upward. You might have seen your dog running around the house with like a special toy or a sock or something, their nose in the air, they feel really good about themselves. Well, I want them to feel good about themselves doing what I call desired behaviors. In this case, sitting when I ask you to sit. Mm-hmm. That will also help you when you ask the dog to sit in a different capacity, like sitting before you let it out of a door or something along those lines. After a while, the dog will transition. Instead of nudging you or throwing a toy at you, I'm going to come and sit in front of you, or I'm going to come and drop the object and sit in front of you as my way of asking, can you pet me? Can you play with me? Mm-hmm. So when it does, we want to make sure that we do acknowledge that as much as we can. Now, sometimes it's not appropriate. We're not going to do it every time. But the dog is now adopting a more polite way of asking that is more desirable for us. We want to make sure we compensate the dog. I consider petting a dog our way of paying them. So in this formula, what we're doing is we're developing really a the currency, I guess, is a better way to put this, is obedience. So if you want my attention, you have to earn it from me, and you have to do it by my rules. Mm-hmm. After a while, the dog starts to identify, I can ask rather than tell them what to do, and I have to earn what I want by doing something for them first, and sitting and lying down is hardly asking a lot. Mm-hmm. And it also instills kind of, like I said, that follower's mindset of I don't get to boss them around or tell them what to do. And that makes them more responsive when we do correct them or something like that. Now, if you want to pet your dog, ask it to sit or lie down. If it's already sitting, ask it to come and sit over here or ask it to lay down. What I recommend is you don't pet your dog at all unless it does something for you first. Mm-hmm. After a while, you'll get in a habit of doing it. Now, I'll show you with Casey how Cassie, right? Mm-hmm. Sorry. How I make a dog sit. So Cassie, come. I'm holding my hand. I have nothing in it. I go over the dog's head. Sit. So that's how I do it. So this motion looks like to the dog like I have something in my hand. So and don't be like, that doesn't work. So if you're doing it and you have to pantomime a little bit, and and I have full, her attention is very locked in. So I have my fingers curled slightly. But don't close your hand, because that means no. Petting with a purpose, if you get into a habit of doing it, is the easiest thing that you will do that will have the biggest impact on your dog. After a while, the dog will start, like I said, coming and sitting in front of you, asking you to pet. And then if you get in the habit of doing this with your hand, sit. Every time you do that, you're engaging in a mini dog obedience training session without even trying to do it, or spending any effort or conscious effort towards doing it. That's petting with a purpose.